Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Shameless in Chicago. This is your host, Nin.
And I'm Luke, and I think I'm about to have a really great day.
Well, actually, if you are watching this right now, you could see all of the food and sodas that we have laid out on the table. However, we are going to be talking about the toxic chemicals that are in your food and healthcare products.
What could possibly be wrong with anything that's here? I mean, you could eat this stuff every day and pretty much live like it's a natural diet.
Right, and the only bad thing that would happen to you is that you would gain weight, right?
Yeah, if it's eaten in excess, right?
Right, exactly. Like this one from Mexico says excess calories, so.
They say that on everything in Mexico. But like a Reese's, that seems so innocent, so innocuous.
Right, and that coffee mate that everyone puts in their coffee every day.
Oh my gosh, I use so much of that. I think I go through 3 or 4 of these bottles, these 2X bottles in a month.
Well, I'm going to educate you guys today and just let you know, avoid your coffee mate, maybe.
No, that's my mate.
Yeah.
My coffee mate.
Yeah. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about all of the toxic chemicals that the FDA allows in our foods here in the U.S. And just for everyone's information, like I am not a healthcare professional. I'm a mental health care professional, but not like a healthcare professional. And because of that, take everything that I say and it's just to educate you guys, because I have done my research. I've been looking into everything and really just taking and learning. And I feel like it's a lot easier for me to tell you everything that I've learned instead of you having to go out and do your own like little Google searches. However, I highly, highly encourage you to go out and do your own Google searches and to just implement these into your life that you see fit. This is not to say you have to do every single thing that I tell you, but it's better to know rather than not know, right?
I don't taste anything wrong with this one.
Right, and that's the whole point. You don't taste anything wrong with it. So first, I have this set up into multiple different sections. We're going to go into things that I do avoid. These are stuff that I avoid in my beauty products and why I avoid them. Then we're going to go into food and food products and why I avoid them. And lastly, we're going to go into things that I actually do not avoid and I don't care to avoid. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. I'm excited to learn, and I hope that I can eat all this by the end.
Yeah. Are you sure you're going to want to?
Maybe I'll have one more right now just in case before it gets bad.
So first thing we're going to talk about is titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide sounds like a science experiment.
Wait, I thought we were talking about beauty products. Titanium dioxide, is that metal?
It's actually a naturally occurring white powdery substance. It is put into our foods. It is put into your beauty products because it also helps prevent like UV damage. And it's put into your tampons, your feminine hygiene products. And
what's the purpose?
Literally just makes it white. Yeah. No, it's so dumb. It literally just makes it white. And let me tell you what titanium dioxide has been shown to do to humans and animals. First and foremost, it causes infertility. Like, let's just put it out there. It causes infertility. It has been shown to cause lung cancer in animals.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know animals could get lung cancer.
Yeah, it's been tested in rats, and rats were shown to get lung cancer when exposed to titanium dioxide. I'm sorry, but if I'm actively not smoking cigarettes because I don't want to die of lung cancer, why am I consuming something that is going to give me lung cancer?
Yeah, no, that's terrifying. What can we find like in titanium dioxide? So it's like deodorants, tampons. Is this in any like foods or anything I have to worry about?
Like your Little Debbie's? Yeah, it's in that. It's in a lot of your foods. Make sure to read your labels. It's also in your toothpaste.
What? I thought it was baking soda.
Yeah, no, there's the very last ingredient of your toothpaste will be titanium dioxide. And also the route of ingestion, like your gums are very easily permeable. So it'll go in and it'll affect your bloodstream, and you don't want that. Another thing that titanium dioxide does is that when it accumulates in your body, it can accumulate in the reproductive organs of mammals in different ways. It affects the development of ovum and sperm. It damages reproductive organs and harms the growth and development of offspring. The oxidative stress response in germ cells is irregular cell apoptosis, inflammation, gene toxicity, and hormone synthesis disorder. So this is what happens when you have toxicity of titanium dioxide. If you do a Google search, it'll say humans don't consume enough titanium dioxide for it to be harmful. However, I would highly encourage you to stay away from this, especially in a time where one of our presidential candidates is literally advocating for IVF to be paid for by insurance companies. Tells you a lot about the infertility crisis that we are having here currently in the United States.
I have to check through everything now because I do not want anything building up my genitalia.
Yeah, we don't want that. The next thing that I avoid, which many people would be so surprised by.
What is it?
Fragrances.
No, I love my Gio Armani cologne.
Yeah, no, we avoid fragrances here. So the whole reason I avoid fragrances is because I heard in a Bailey Sarian episode of the perfume industry and everything, and Coco Chanel, the first ever Chanel No. 5 perfume.
And she did have connections to the Nazis.
The first Chanel perfume, it was actually from a sweat gland of an animal every time it got scared. And so that's what created the scent. Obviously, because of animal rights and all of that, we have gotten rid of that practice. And as a result, we have created chemicals to get that same scent. However, these chemicals labeled under fragrance are actually very toxic to the human body. And let's get into what fragrance actually does. So fragrance causes hormonal imbalance, and it triggers headaches for a reason. Across multiple research studies, synthetic chemicals used to make fragrances are classified as allergens, hormone disruptors, asthma triggers, neurotoxins, compromising your skin barrier, and it can be a carcinogen. Fragrances are highly toxic and can cause allergic reactions.
I mean, I know I have to avoid some stuff because I've got sensitive skin, but how common is this?
So it's actually very common. The fragrance industry is not regulated by a third party. It is not regulated by any governmental entity. Fragrance companies are regulating fragrances. And because fragrances are seen as like a secret thing,
A secret formula?
basically, they don't have to
gosh.
reveal what is in their fragrance.
This is not KFC's chicken and herb recipe.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah, so honestly, like personally, spraying perfume on gives me a headache. And I would always be like, what is wrong with me? Like, why is it giving me such a headache every single time? And it's because it's seeping into my skin barrier. And as a result of it seeping in, it's causing some toxicity within my body. It's causing imbalances. And in turn, I'm getting dizzy.
Wow, that's actually heartbreaking because I still have a whole bottle, I think 120 milliliter bottle of Gio Armani in my car. And I feel toxic spraying it all over myself like I'm Jojo Siwa.
Yeah, so what I do now personally is I use like a body oil that I got from Dubai, and it's the only thing that doesn't.
Is it like a roller applicator?
Yeah.
Oh, those are cute.
And it's literally like an oil. There might be fragrance in it. I only use it for special occasions, but I will not be buying another Chanel perfume. I will not be buying a YSL perfume. I will not be buying perfumes anymore. Like the fragrance is just too much, and the hormonal imbalance is just, it's not it for me. It's not worth it for a scent that you spray on and goes away in 5 minutes, but my hormones are going to remain in balance.
I feel like everything about women is like inequitable because a man's cologne will last all day.
No, literally.
So what else do you avoid? Like what could possibly be dangerous in my day-to-day life?
Well, another thing that we are also avoiding is plastic water bottles. Yeah. The very thing that you're probably drinking from right now.
Oh.
We are avoiding it.
No.
Yeah. So plastic water bottles have been shown to contain a lot of microplastics. Not enough research knows what the long-term effects of microplastics are, but we know it cannot be good. They are testing like fetuses and babies when they're born, and they're also being shown to have microplastics. So again, we don't know the long-term effects because this is something that's been newly researched, newly discovered. And so I'm going to say stay away from anything that has a microplastic in it. Plastic water bottles have also been shown to have chemicals that seep out of the plastic and into the water. Water bottles actually have an expiration date, not because the water is expiring, but because the quality of the plastic will be compromised over time.
That plastic was supposed to be the end-all be-all situation that would never break down.
Yeah, no, the chemicals in the bottle are going to start seeping into your water. And so that is why.
I should go boil this.
Yeah, you can boil. If you boil water bottles, it will help get rid of the microplastics.
Oh, okay. So not only water bottles are bad because they're taking up so much space in the ocean, but now they're going to give you cancer and take up space in the cemeteries. Great.
That's a good way to put it. Another thing that we avoid when it comes to plastics is BPA. And as many of you probably know and grew up seeing it, BPA free. You're always like,
love it.
BPA free, BPA free. But do you know why we avoid BPA?
Does it have something to do with like a hormone imbalance it causes?
So yeah, it does a lot of things. BPA is actually really bad. BPA is short for bisphenol A, which honestly sounds like ethanol, which sounds like gas, honestly, which cannot be good. But BPA, exposure to BPA is a concern because of the possible health effects on the brain and prostate gland of fetuses, infants, and children. It can also affect children's behavior. Additional research suggests a possible link between BPA and increased blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease.
Please move on. I have no words for that.
Yeah, so for BPA, I will not purchase a water bottle. I will not purchase anything if it does not say BPA free because of the negative consequences that are coming from it. I'm sorry, but I don't want cardiovascular disease if I'm actively not eating junk food because of the plastic. Like, let me enjoy it. Like, if I'm going to get cardiovascular disease, let me enjoy the reason I'm getting it.
So would you say like plastics essentially becoming part of our DNA?
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
I mean, yeah, we're becoming literal plastic people. Fetuses are being born with microplastics in their systems. It's like we're becoming a whole new species. We are a whole new species.
Yeah, we
no
really are.
other. Well, I'm sure there were others, but like think about it. The Pilgrims never had to deal with this issue. They had dysentery.
Yeah. It's unfortunate we also don't have research from like back then before all this corporate and mumbo jumbo. Because remember, these companies are putting these toxic chemicals in your foods on purpose. We'll actually get into that a little bit later. Yeah.
So wait, they know?
Oh, they know.
They know.
They know.
How long have they known?
Oh, they've known.
Oh, they've known?
Yeah.
So they've always known?
Oh, they've always known, and they're doing it purposely for a multitude of reasons. Number one, because one, you'll buy their product. Number two, because they make money from your disease.
Wait, they make money off of me now?
Oh, 1,000%.
What the hell?
Let's not look into what they're invested.
Gosh.
Next thing that I also avoid is cookware that is not made out of glass or stainless steel. So the cookware that is coated with nonstick, has a lining on it, has been shown to have PFOAs, which are like forever chemicals that essentially seep into your food and seep into your body. And we don't want that, right? So I'm going to use glass and I'm going to use stainless steel, which emit absolutely no chemicals. And I'm going to eat my food and I'm going to enjoy it. And if you guys go on TikTok, you will see the way that you can make stainless steel nonstick, which is literally so easy. You just put a little bit of oil on your stainless steel pot or pan or whatever, and you slowly let it heat up. You don't turn it up on high heat and pour your oil.
So you grease the pan?
Basically, yeah.
That's how everyone should cook. So are you telling me that ceramic, cast iron, stuff like
Cast
that?
iron is good.
Cast iron's okay?
Cast iron's okay.
Good,
Yeah.
because I love cast iron bacon.
Yeah, because that's a natural thing.
Okay, good.
Yeah, ceramic I believe is also good because it's just a ceramic, they paint it and then they heat it.
But when we're talking about like low budget Walmart pots
yeah,
and pans.
yeah, exactly. Or like the baking section of like mainstays or whatever, we're not using those appliances. They're just not good for you. Mm-hmm. So let's avoid that. Next thing I avoid is medication.
Don't you need medicine when you're sick?
You would say that, right? But why should I get sick?
Because your immune system is being compromised by, I don't know, I'm not a doctor.
No. Okay. So the issue that I have with Western healthcare system is that none of it is preventative, right? So we're eating an unhealthy diet. We're engaging in unhealthy habits. Like, let's be real, sitting in front of your desk for 8 hours is not healthy for your body, your posture, your joints. Sitting there and binge watching a TV show and just eating the most unhealthy food because you're ordering it out is also not good for you.
I'm going to stop telling you what I do on the weekends if you're going to keep on putting me on blast.
So because it's not good for you, you're going to have something wrong with you, right? You're going to have bad knees. You're going to feel like some chest pain here and there. You're going to have a compromised immune system because you're not eating the right fruits and vegetables. So because our healthcare system is not preventative, I highly encourage you to engage in preventative healthcare measures by adjusting your lifestyle.
What would you suggest putting into your daily lifestyle to kind of put in those preventative measures to avoid any medications that may negatively affect my liver or give me like negative effects of medication? Because, I don't go to the doctor all the time, so I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, that's actually such a great question. And it's literally so simple. Eat whole foods.
Like a whole watermelon?
Go off.
A whole cantaloupe?
Go off.
Like an entire one?
If you want to.
How does that help me?
So the way you are going to engage in preventative healthcare measures is actually very, very simple. It's eat foods that are natural, right? Like, for example, Luke and I went to Costco the other day and we had a sample of Rayo's eggplant parmesan.
Rao.
Rao?
Isn't it Rao?
I thought it was Rayo's.
I thought it was Rao.
I don't know. But we had a sample of that. And I looked at Luke and I said, I can make this better.
Oh, is that how it went?
That's literally how it went. Yeah.
Oh.
Didn't I make it better?
No, I made it better.
Well, I mean, we made it together, but we
did.
We made it better.
I just want to say, I had the idea to make chicken eggplant parm.
And it was delicious. But however, the thing is that instead of buying it processed from a large grocery retailer like Costco.
Gosh, and frozen. Can you imagine eating frozen eggplant? How long has it been sitting like that, all thin and mushy?
That's fine. If it's frozen, it's fine. It's whatever. Frozen is actually best because it actually retains its nutrients more.
So what happened to fresh, never frozen?
Whatever. Wendy's has a motto.
That's fair.
Yeah. Remember, everything is marketing. Everything is marketing. So make it yourself. Like, cook your food at home. If you see something you enjoy, make it at home. Like, for some things that I really enjoy at home, like a broccoli cheddar soup from Panera is so delicious to me, but I'm like, God knows what's in here. So I'm going to make it at home where I can control the ingredients that I'm putting in there. A lot of Assyrians don't like to eat out at restaurants, and they'll be like, because it's not clean. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not clean? They have a cleanliness standard to attain to. And I finally figured it out. It's not that the place isn't clean. It's that the food and the ingredients that they're feeding you are not clean.
Have you ever looked at any of the nutrition facts on Panera's food?
Oh, it's literally so bad.
It's just sodium.
Yeah.
It's just sodium in the shape of a dish.
No, it's literally so bad. So another research has shown is that 95%, I want you to soak that in, 95% of serotonin is produced in the gut. So serotonin is produced, 95% of it is produced in the gut. Serotonin is the happy hormone, and it gets you happy, gets you feeling good, helps aid people who have depression, anxiety, any mental health issue that you may have. So this research study showed this, and people who consume highly processed foods are more likely to experience depression and anxiety versus those who do not.
But it brings me so much joy.
In the moment it might, right? You get that little rush. But
comfort, yes.
Yeah, but long term, remember, you're eating it, it's going into the gut, it's taking all of the nutrients it's getting from it, which is literally nothing, and then it's signaling that to your brain. So some of these foods are causing you inflammation, and inflammation in the brain is also linked to depression, anxiety, and so many other things as well.
My nervous system sounds a little too moody for all of this. Like, when does it start to become a bright side?
There is no bright side. I mean, the bright side is that you can know these things, and as I'm telling you about these things, you can take what you want and apply it to your daily life. So medications that I avoid are like ibuprofen, Tylenol, which is acetaminophen, and I avoid it because it thins out your blood and it can cause stomach ulcers if taken in excess. Once you get used to taking this medication, you're gonna need to take more to get the same effects. So I can't imagine it's good for you.
Now, I think I've noticed that with some of my girlfriends because whenever you ask them for an ibuprofen or something, they hand you like a 2,000 milligram pill.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you that you need that?
It's because every month they have cramps and stuff.
So they just start packing away the ibuprofen?
Well, you'll start to take 2, right? And then before you know it, you're going to start to take 3. And then you're going to start to take 4. And then Advil is like, you should not be taking more than this many within this many hours. And you're like, well, shit, I'm still in pain.
And so in turn, you take more and more, you get stomach ulcers and other problems with your liver. You have to go to the doctor, and then they're just making more money off it.
Yes.
Oh my God, I cracked the code.
Look at you getting it.
No, they're against us. I knew it.
Yes. So we're going to talk about more about birth control and all of that. So birth control literally fucks with your hormones. And in turn, it fucks with your mental health and well-being. Yes.
You know what? Go on, because there's going to be nothing wrong with this sucker, and I can enjoy it.
I mean, it has artificial dyes in it, and we can all agree that artificial dyes are actually really bad for you. So, as you know, birth control messes with your hormones. Many women have reported that negative effects because of it, and they won't tell you because obviously they're making money off of it. Like birth control is a multi-million-billion-dollar industry because women want to be able to control when they get pregnant, but also have fun at the same time, as you should. However, they're not going to tell you that maybe it might increase your risk of depression, all of that, and because they're making money off of it. It's a multi-million-billion-dollar industry.
That's so strange because I remember when we were growing up and we'd even watch TV shows like George Lopez.
Yeah.
His daughter wanted to be on birth control so bad. She would even go as far as to list off all of the benefits like clearing your skin, regulating your flow and all of that. But you're saying it's actually dangerous?
Yeah, it can be dangerous. However, like, don't mistake me if you are using it to like regulate your flow, all of that. I would encourage you to take the natural route first before you start to take birth control, right? Like, why is your flow irregular? Why are you getting acne, right? Because it's a hormonal imbalance. And as we've learned from some of these chemicals in our products, they're causing hormonal imbalances.
Right, so it sounds like it's causing a hormonal imbalance, which will cause acne, which will also take away your serotonin because your brain's saying, hey, there's no nutrients here, so I'm not happy, which is going to cause stress, which is only going to cause more physical issues for you.
And what do they say about stress? Causes acne. So Western medicine is not preventative. It attacks the issue, right? What's the issue? We're addressing it. But when you address that issue, you're also opening up a door for a bunch of other issues, right? Side effects may include blah, 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 blah. And they say it's super fast, so you don't understand them or you don't hear them. And if you engage in preventative measures, you're preventing it, right? You're helping yourself out. I just want you to remember that food is literally medicine. It is filled with the vitamins and nutrients that your body needs. If your body receives all of the nutrients it needs, you won't need to age and have a laundry list of medication to take, right? We'll see it like our elders always at the doctor's, always taking a multitude of medications. And they take this medication, but this medication caused this side effect. So now they have to take this medication and so on and so forth. And so we don't want that. One thing I will throw in there is that I will take medication if it is antibiotics and absolutely necessary because there is no natural route for that.
Right. So if it's something you can't, cure or prevent, you'll have to go that route because at the end of the day, you do need to live.
Yes, exactly. Remember, we live this lifestyle. We don't die by this lifestyle, right? So another thing that I avoid is traditional soaps. I'm not using your Dove soap. I'm not using your Irish Spring. I'm not using any of those. I do not have a full-blown skincare routine, and I highly, highly, highly encourage you all to use the Yuka app. The Yuka app is an amazing app. It is a wonderful app that is really just designed to help you and become a more educated consumer.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored at all. Most lotions and sunscreens, get ready for this.
I hate sunscreen.
I do too, but most lotions and sunscreens contain chemicals that have been linked to cancer, infertility, endocrine disruption, neurotoxicity, effects on the central nervous system, and yes, autoimmune diseases.
When we say neurotoxicity, that's poison to the brain?
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
In our sunscreen?
In not even your sunscreen, your body lotion.
In my like CeraVe?
Are you ready for this? Your eye cream.
No.
Yes.
I use Dove. I use Dove for women. Is that...
Scan it. Scan it on the Yuka app and educate yourself, because I can't talk about every single product that's out there. However, I am telling you that these products do contain these chemicals that have been linked to these negative effects. So exactly why I'm saying become an educated consumer, and that is why I avoid these things. And utilizing all the lotions and serums and all this extra stuff gets in the way of our body's natural process, right? So our body has been living for hundreds of years, thousands of years even, and we're complaining of T-zone is oily, my skin is dry, my skin is oily. Why? Your skin should be fine. Your skin, your body should have figured it out how to regulate itself, right? And so I used to always complain of having an oily T-zone and blackheads and all of that. And I would break out when it came to my period. And I'm like, that's all normal, right? It's not normal.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's actually not normal. It is as soon as I got rid of all of these serums, all of these lotions, all of these bad soaps, that my skin, thank God, I do not break out when I get my period anymore. Thank you. I do not have blackheads like I used to. Like, yeah, I'll still get blackheads here and there. That's normal, but not the way that I used to. Like, I had to get a facial every couple of months because my blackheads were so bad.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. My skin is not greasy. Like, we're chilling. Like, it's normal. It's figured itself out. So it's really, really important to recognize that the issue is actually coming from the stuff that you're consuming. It's not coming from your body. Like, your body's a temple. Your body's graceful, right? Don't attack it. I don't use traditional soaps because they have chemicals that have been linked to infertility, cancer, inflammation. And I would like to add that yes, your toothpaste has a chemical in it that has been linked to inflammation of your gums and increased mouth sensitivity. And yes, they do this on purpose.
So they're giving us gingivitis.
Yes. So you can go ahead and buy their mouthwash that they are invested in or creating themselves.
Or their floss.
Yes, exactly. You're like, oh my God, my gums are inflamed. Maybe I should floss more, but that's really because they are putting the chemical in there. Yeah.
Shit, man.
There are toothpaste out there, and that's why I recommend you download the Yuka app that you can go ahead and scan it and it'll tell you that those chemicals are not in there. I thankfully found one. It's like a very specific brand. I forgot what it was called, but it's not native. And that's another thing that sucks is that marketing is so good nowadays. Like, you'll be like, oh, okay, let me just throw everything away and just buy native products, right? Because that's like the whole big frenzy right now is native products. They're good, they're natural. No, scan them. Literally scan them on the Yuka app and you will see that there are some native products that do have harmful chemicals in there. So don't just go by brand, go by what's in the product. So an alternative to all of this is there is this bar of soap. It's literally a Middle Eastern soap. When I went to Iraq, it was literally in every single shop. It's olive oil soap. We call it sabun raqi, which is literally just olive oil soap. And it's amazing. And the longer the olive oil ages, the better it is for you. My dad always would tell me that like this is the best soap. It helps with like anti-aging, all of that. I look it up. Olive oil is so amazing for you. It renews your skin cells. Hello, we want renewed skin cells.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want. So use that olive oil soap. It's so amazing. And I was talking to the cesarean lady. I was like, I started using this soap. And she goes, oh, use it as shampoo. I was like, shampoo? She's like, yeah, it's so good for you and good for your hair because it's olive oil.
Now, is that why Starbucks started to put like olive oil in their drinks because it has some health benefits to it?
Yeah, because it's so good for you.
I did not know that. I thought people were just drinking oil for fun.
Yeah, no, olive oil is literally so good for you. So I use this one bar of soap and I use it for my hair, my face, and my body. And everything has never been softer, thank God.
It's true. It's pretty soft.
Luke actually complimented me on my hair today. He said it's gotten nice and strong and healthy looking. So thank you.
Thank you, olive oil soap.
So deodorant, we're going to move on to that. Oh, before we move on to deodorant, we're going to talk about beef tallow. People use beef tallow, and that's another thing people really enjoy. I've never used it. The idea of putting beef tallow on my face is just not something that appeals to me.
What is beef tallow?
I think it's like beef rendering.
Oh.
Yeah. People really enjoy it. It's done amazing wonders for people. However, it's just not something I've been able to bring myself to use.
I don't blame you. That sounds kind of like a serial killer.
Yeah, it's a little too much for me. But again, do what works for you. Deodorants.
Oh, that's perfect. I smell great. I actually don't use deodorant.
Yeah, Luke and I, actually, fun fact, neither of us use deodorant. And I've never complained that Luke smells bad.
She smells like roses, so.
Exactly. So we must be doing something right. So deodorant has aluminum. And as you've been seeing a lot, the hook word is aluminum-free deodorant. But why are we avoiding aluminum? It's because aluminum increases your risk of breast cancer, not aluminum cans.
Okay,
yeah, no. The aluminum that you're literally putting on your armpits, which is right next to your breast. Yeah, increases your risk of breast cancer. So no. It has fragrance in it. And as we learned earlier, fragrance is a hormone disruptor.
Yes, and those of you boys who grew up with sensitive skin, eczema, psoriasis, we know that deodorant is no good for under your armpits. You will get rashy, you will get drippage, you're going to get some sort of fluid coming from there, and then you're just going to be chafed for 5 days until you heal. Don't use it. I am not a fan of deodorant.
Yeah, no, literally. And so you guys are probably like, ew, you guys are actually so gross. No, let's give you the alternatives. Okay, there is a crystal deodorant out there. They sell it at Whole Foods. They sell it at Marshall's. Don't use it. It can be neurotoxic, carcinogenic, and genotoxic effects. If you're exposed to it a lot, don't use it. It's not worth it. What you're going to do is, if you want to get to the level that me and Luke are at, is that you are not going to wear deodorant for a full month. You are going to smell absolutely disgusting. You are going to need to shower and scrub your armpits every single day.
Shower twice a day. Just don't wash your hair twice.
Yeah, you're going to smell nasty. We're just going to tell you that. However, by the time that month ends, that scent is gone. It's literally just your body purging itself.
Yeah, and you're going to realize that your body has a natural scent to it, which is not offensive. There's a difference between offensive and not offensive body odor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is how we attract people instinctually with
pheromones.
Come on. Get with it. Find yourself a girlfriend. Stop wearing deodorant.
So what I did is, after I did my cleanse, I wore only like butter-based deodorants, like coconut butter, shea butter, like those things. Those are natural. Those were fine for me. And then eventually I was like, I'm kind of over wearing these too. And I saw this TikTok where it was like, use glycolic acid. And I went to Ulta. I scanned the Ordinary's glycolic acid, and it did wonders for me. It's 100% rating. It's so good for you. It's not bad for you at all. It has 0 toxic chemicals in there. After I shower, I just spritz some on, and it kills the bacteria that is causing your armpits to smell. Because remember, sweat has no smell.
Mm-hmm. It's the bacteria that is bred in between the crevices of your body that smells.
Exactly. And so let's get to the root cause of it, right? It's not my sweat that's smelling, it's the bacteria that's smelling. So then let's go ahead and kill off the bacteria. So yeah, those are all of the things and chemicals that we avoid. Now, let's get into
the things that we don't have to worry about avoiding.
Just kidding, food.
Fuck.
Yeah, no. Now, if only the USDA and the FDA actually did their jobs.
They don't?
No, they don't.
Don't I pay them with my taxes?
They're basically bought out at this point.
Keep that in mind, everyone.
Yeah. So, foods I eat. I only eat beef and meat products that are advertised as 100% grass-fed beef. Preferably organic, because 100% grass-fed organic beef means that the cow has only been fed grass, and that grass has not been given antibiotics or growth hormones, and is fed a grain or forage that is 100% organic and not treated with synthetic pesticides. What my cow eat affects what I eat. Right? Because that's the whole reason why you're not supposed to eat fish when you're pregnant, because you don't want to be exposed to mercury.
Well, and I think we also learned that pretty early on in our education system, is that whatever your food eats, you're eating. Mm-hmm. You're going to consume whatever your food chain consumes. So the more that we poison rats, the more that other animals eat those rats, the more that those animals get eaten by our animals, we're eating those poisons that we're putting out ourselves.
Exactly. And remember, the U.S. created a problem for us, and then other companies created a treatment for it, and in turn created a product for us. So why are we the only country that says organic, but if I go to the Middle East or if I go to Europe, it doesn't say organic, it just says tomato?
It's implied organic.
Yeah, exactly. Not here, though, because Monsanto is the worst company to ever exist.
Well, what's Monsanto?
So Monsanto is a pharmaceutical, chemical, biochemical company that has been in the news for about 50 plus years now at this point, basically harming the U.S. and harming people. They are the people that created Agent Orange. So for those of you that...
Agent Orange, like Vietnam Agent Orange?
Yeah, like Vietnam Agent Orange. Yeah.
And now they're making us medicine?
Oh, they're making you a lot of things.
Oh, my.
So Agent Orange was used to clear foliage during the Vietnam War. Exposure to it caused birth defects, cancer, and life-threatening health issues. And in recent years, as of 2021...
That was like 3 years ago.
Literally, the Monsanto company agreed to plead guilty to 30 environmental crimes related to the use of a pesticide on cornfields in Hawaii. And the company further agreed to plead guilty to 2 other charges related to the storage of a banned pesticide that were the subject of a 2019 deferred prosecution agreement. Yeah. Monsanto is terrible. If you would like to listen to more about this, I highly encourage you to listen to Bailey Sarian's Dark History episode where she talks about Monsanto and how bad they are. But yeah, that's just a little thing. And you want to know what Monsanto has also created?
What?
RBST.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
So RBST stands for recombinant bovine growth hormone. It was created by Monsanto, and basically, the FDA stated that the food products made from RBST-treated cows are safe for human consumption, and no statistically significant difference exists between milk derived from RBST-treated and untreated cows. The FDA found BST to be biologically inactive when consumed by humans and found no biological distinction between RBST and BST. In 1990, an independent panel convened by the National Institute of Health supported the FDA opinion that milk and meat from cows supplemented with RBST is safe for human consumption.
So why do you even care about the RBST if the FDA says it's safe?
Because if we dig deeper into who did this research and said that RBST is safe, you know who did the research and funded it?
The FDA?
Monsanto.
Oh no, it's even worse.
Yeah, yes. They funded the research to say that RBST is not bad. Therefore, you can consume it. So...
This just in. Marlboro cigarette says smoking's not bad. Go for it, teenagers.
No, literally. So listen to what has happened with RBST. So RBST has been shown to reduce pregnancy rates, increase risk for clinical mastitis, increase frequency of medication, increase body temperature unrelated to illness, increase in digestive disorders, increased numbers of enlarged hooks and lesions, and the possibility of injection site reactions that remain permanent but are not associated with animal health problems, supposedly. Oh, by the way, I should add that this was all for the cow. Also, a Minnesota farmer who participated in an American cyanamide trial over 2 lactation periods said his herd experienced breeding problems, multiple births, deficient body condition, 100% failure to conceive after the second lactation, a 19% death rate, and a 15% down cow rate. I would like to add that cows that have been treated with RBST have been shown to then become infertile.
Oh, so now we're reducing our amount of beef and dairy cows?
Yeah, kind of. So basically, yeah, the RBST has been shown to really negatively affect the animals and how they can produce. So the thing is with RBST, you will see on products today that it says RBST free. There has been no significant difference to show that cows treated with RBST versus cows not treated with RBST, blah, blah, blah. That's because Monsanto filed a lawsuit and was basically trying to restrict freedom of speech. And the countersuit was basically, the compromise was basically that they have to put that asterisk. So the only reason that asterisk is there, not because it's true, but because Monsanto filed a lawsuit. And they're a big company with a lot of money against a little grassroots company. Now we're going to get into chicken.
Oh, I love chicken.
Me too. I actually really enjoy chicken.
Oh, good. So there's nothing wrong with chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Just rip off the Band-Aid.
Okay, so chicken. This is the chicken that you should be eating. You should be eating chicken that is labeled as no antibiotics ever. Ever. Keyword, ever. And the reason why I say that is because there will be some brands that say no antibiotics. And then it will have an asterisk, and you will go and read that asterisk, and it says no antibiotics fed to the animal unless the animal is sick. So
you shouldn't be eating a sick animal.
One, you shouldn't be eating a sick animal. Two, if my animal is eating antibiotics, then aren't I eating their antibiotics?
Oh, yeah. We just talked about that with the rat and the poison.
Exactly. And if I'm eating their antibiotics, then I'm going to become more resistant to certain things. And it's actually been shown and proven that eating an animal's antibiotics in 2 hours is creating something different within us that's making us more resistant, which we don't want to be.
No, because we'll need those antibiotics one day when we actually really need them, not when they're coming from our food.
Yes. So the chicken we're going to eat is no antibiotics ever. You can get vegetarian fed or grain fed, whatever you want it to be fed. Doesn't really matter, but they're going to eat bugs and all that stuff. Do not fall for the quote, no added growth hormones or steroids, unquote, because that is literally banned in the US and they're not allowed to use it, period. It's just a marketing technique. So all of your chicken in the US does not have any growth hormones or steroids.
They just want us to applaud them for doing their jobs?
Yeah, basically.
Oh, geez.
It's literally banned in the US. They're not allowed to give you the food. Don't fall for the labels that say cage-free because it doesn't mean anything.
What?
Yes. They can be cage-free and roaming around, but if you release 100 chickens in a 100 square feet room, they're not in a cage, but they're all crammed together, right? So cage-free means literally nothing because they'll be eating each other's shit.
Oh, that's disgusting, and then we eat that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why you go to like grain-fed, vegetarian-fed. That's good. That means they have like enough room to do all that. But the only time you should engage in cage-free chicken is if it has this logo that says Animal Welfare Certified or Animal Humanely Raised. This is a third-party entity that ensures that these companies are following a standard, that these animals are being humanely raised, are eating the right foods, and are having access to the outdoors, grass, and all of that stuff. The FDA does not, I want to repeat this, the FDA does not certify things that are grass-fed, does not certify grain-fed, vegetarian-fed, cage-free. They don't do any of this. The only thing they certify is organic. So it says, if it says USDA organic, then you're good because they regulate that, but they don't regulate everything else. The USDA, the FDA, whatever the freaking A's are, they're not doing it.
So I guess we could just call them the Some Food and Drug Administration?
Yeah,
That's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, not all of it. So then you have these third-party places like the Animal Welfare Approved, AGW. It's the only label that guarantees animals are raised outdoors on pasture or range for their entire lives on an independent farm using truly sustainable high welfare farming practices. They are a third party that certifies because the USDA does not certify grass-fed or humanely raised. I personally prefer organic chicken because the birds must be raised organically no later than 2 days after they hatch. They must be fed certified organic feed for their entire lives. Organic feed cannot contain animal byproducts, antibiotics, or genetically engineered grains, and cannot be grown using persistent pesticides or chemical fertilizers. Yeah, you see all that? That's in the organic label. Because of that mouthful, if your chicken is not organic, if it does not have those no antibiotics ever, blah, 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 you are consuming it. Like, you're consuming a chicken that has been exposed to pesticides. You're consuming a chicken that has been exposed to chemical fertilizers. You are consuming a chicken that has been fed genetically engineered grains. Why am I consuming that?
It seems just so irresponsible to disrespect something that brings food to us.
Yeah. Exactly. And as most people have come to recognize is that if you eat chicken on the first day, it tastes fine. But on the second day, when you heat it up, it has this really odd taste.
I noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah. It tastes so gross. You're like, ew, what is that? Yeah. After going to the Middle East and Europe, I recognize that that is actually very abnormal. And I am assuming that reason is because of what the chicken eats, right? So for example, we'll use humans for example, right?
Sure.
Let's say I live off of a diet of just McDonald's. I'm eating solely McDonald's. When I sweat, I'm going to smell bad, right?
Right, because of all those preservatives and gross stuff in McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Because of what I'm consuming, my body's reacting to it. So I'm going to assume the same as for the chicken. If it's eating chemical fertilizers, pesticides, all of that, by the time it comes the second day of it being cooked, it's releasing those toxins, those nasty smells. I'm presuming that. However, it makes sense because when you do eat organic chicken and chicken that's been fed correctly, all of that, cage-free, grass-fed, whatever the case may be, today, we actually ate chicken that was 2 days old. I cooked that chicken 2 days ago. And did it taste bad for you? The chicken
not
parm.
at all. It actually tasted nice and fresh.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have that nasty taste to it because it's not eating nasty foods. And your stomach doesn't hurt, right? When you start, food is not supposed to make you feel bad. Food is supposed to make you feel good. You're supposed to be fueled from it, energized from it, not groggy, not tired, not nasty, not like you're going to throw up or you're about to shit yourself. No, it's not supposed to do any of that. I mean, considering your diet, Luke. If I cannot be picky, so let's say I've left Chicago and I'm in the middle of nowhere and I just can't be picky with my chicken, I will opt for no antibiotics ever. The ever is important, as I mentioned earlier, because the overuse of antibiotics in food-producing animals is being blamed for the increase in resistant bacteria, also known as superbugs. When these are passed to humans, they can cause serious illness.
So superbugs, is that like jumping from animals like swine flu and bird flu and all of that?
No, it's just like the resistant bacteria. They're called superbugs. It's just resistant bacteria.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, and so it's saying that like when they're eating and consuming these antibiotics and it's being passed down to humans, it's causing serious illnesses within humans. So that's why I will opt for no antibiotics ever. It says, if it says no antibiotics ever, I'll eat it. Like, that's fine. I can't be picky about what the chicken has eaten or if it's organic or whatever. No antibiotics, we're good. I have a peace of mind. When it comes to eggs, we see the term pasture-raised, cage-free, all of that. I want you to remember that these terms that I used for you earlier also apply to your eggs. So if it says pasture raised, all of that, if it has that animal,
Pasture raised?
Pasture raised. Yeah, do you not know what that means? No. Pasture raised means that it's raised on a pasture. It's raised on a farm. It's raised on a land. They can go around, walk, all of that and have their freedom instead of just being like crammed into like a space, like a room or whatever. And so make sure if it says animal welfare certified, USDA organic, all of that, then you're good to go. If it doesn't say any of that stuff, I would question further. Remember, the US does have illegal marketing practices. Like, you can't advertise things and it's false advertisement. That's illegal. So you can trust that what you're reading is true. So if it says like no antibiotics ever, 100% grass-fed beef, you can ensure that it is 100% grass-fed because, again, they cannot engage in false marketing practices.
Can I ask a question while we're on eggs really quickly?
Yeah.
Why, as Americans, do we refrigerate our eggs?
Okay, so that's actually a very interesting question. The reason why us Americans refrigerate our eggs is honestly not a bad reason at all.
Okay, I just know when I was in Mexico, I've noticed that eggs were just there on the counter, and I've heard this has been kind of the norm in every other country.
Yeah, so basically when a chicken has an egg, there is a protective coating around that egg. And what that protective coating does is protects the egg, right? It doesn't go bad. However, in the US, we remove that protective coating because we clean the egg. And the reason we do that is because that protective coating can have like bacteria and E. coli, and it can, like, you know, when you're like cracking an egg, it can go into our food and stuff like that. So as a preventative measure, the US opts to clean it and remove it. And it's not just the US, there's a couple of other countries in the Middle East as well that refrigerate their eggs because they remove that protective coating. So,
well, they did something right, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't compromise the health of your egg. So, yeah, it's totally fine. Also, you have some milks that are not refrigerated, right? You'll see some milk is not refrigerated. It's literally because it's been treated at a higher heat temperature when it's being pasteurized. And so it's able to have a longer shelf life, but it's not bad. If it's coming from a good cow, all of that, then you're fine. RBST free. Please don't forget that. And yeah, another thing that has been getting a lot of traction is plant-based milks and plant-based creamers and blah, 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 blah.
I love oat milk, actually. I never thought I would join the club. Oat milk is delicious.
Yeah. So if you do like oat milk, that's totally fine. If you like almond milk, totally fine. Cashew, whatever your case may be, go off. However, do not get something that has a laundry list of ingredients. It should not say guar gum, xanthan gum, all these cellulose gum, all these gums, because these gums have actually what?
So no cellulose gum?
No gum. We're gonna avoid gums as much as possible. I haven't done too much extensive research on gums, but studies have shown that the interesting effects on animals and humans ranging from digestive discomfort and bloating to increased risk of infection.
Wow. And so looking at our Coffee Mate creamer, I can see that we've got cellulose gel and cellulose gum. No wonder I feel so like I have to rush to the bathroom once I'm done.
And as you notice, also on Coffee Mate, it does not say RBST free on anywhere on the product.
I can confirm that.
Yeah. So we will not be consuming that.
After I finish it, of course.
After he finishes it. Yeah. If I cannot read it, I'm not going to eat it. That's the number one rule. If I can't read it, I'm not eating it. If I can't understand why that ingredient is in my food, I'm not eating it.
That's fair. And, you know, when I kind of look at Sprite over here, going back to our examples, I can actually pronounce all these things. High fructose corn syrup, we know it's just sugar, citric acid to give it sour. But I have a question. What does it mean when something's listed as natural flavors?
I'm so glad you asked that. Okay, so that is something I actually don't care about.
Oh.
Yes.
So there's things that we can kind of just sweep under the rug?
Yes.
Okay.
So a couple of things that we can sweep under the rug, don't really care about, is natural and artificial flavoring. Why do people avoid it? Because companies are not required to disclose what is in the natural or artificial flavoring. However, no harm has been reported nor linked to the flavorings. If there is harm, it'll be a temporary harm, such as fatigue, dizziness, headaches, allergic reaction, but not long-term effects that may be detrimental to your health and well-being. So if I'm going to drink a Coke, that's fine because I know, for example, a Coca-Cola has water, high fructose corn syrup, which is another thing I don't give a shit about.
Because it's just sugar, isn't it?
It's literally just sugar, and your body metabolizes it exactly the way it would regular sugar. So don't really care about that. Caramel color, unfortunately, has been having research being found about it that it's not that great for you, but we're not surprised there. I'm also not drinking a Coca-Cola thinking I'm being healthy. And then phosphoric acid. So that's another thing in American diets. In a lot of our foods, for some reason, there's a lot of phosphorus in it. Phosphorus is not dangerous to you. However, because so many American foods and products contain phosphorus, we do start to engage in phosphorus toxicity and we consume a little too much of it. And then the last two ingredients are natural flavors and caffeine. One thing that we noticed about this can of Coca-Cola that it does not have is any artificial dyes other than caramel color. So there's no red dye 40. There's no blue. There's no yellow. There's nothing.
No cyan, no magenta.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's nothing in it where I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Like a Mountain Dew. Oh my God, I'm avoiding that at all costs.
Oh gosh. And is it true? Like this is an old rumor that would go back all the way to when we were younger, but does Mountain Dew affect the reproductive health of humans?
You know, I actually don't know. I haven't really looked into what ingredients Mountain Dew has. But again, if you want to, go use the Yuka app, scan it, and see what Yuka tells you.
I think I will use the Yuka app. I think I've been going in much too blind to what I've been putting into my body.
Yeah, exactly. Just be educated. Another thing that I don't care about, which I think a lot of people were trying to care about for a little bit, is certain oils. So there was a TikTok trend and there was a YouTube trend where content creators were avoiding certain oils. Now, they were avoiding grapeseed oil, any seed oil. They were like, no, I'm not eating that. It's so bad for you. It causes inflammation, blah, blah, blah. After doing my own research, it's bullshit. Like, your oils are fine for you. Obviously, be a smart consumer in the oil you're consuming. So coconut oil is fine for you. Avocado oil, olive oil, all of these. Avocado oil has a 500-degree Fahrenheit smoke point. So it's amazing, right? But of course, you're going to use canola oil or corn oil for your deep frying. Nobody is deep frying foods thinking they're being healthy. And that's another thing that I need people to be mindful of is that, yeah, sure, I follow this regimented health, whatever, and wellness thing, but I'll eat a Nerds. I'll have a freaking, Sour Patch Kids. Like, I'll eat these things here and there in moderation, knowing that it's not the greatest for me, but you know, it's not going to be the end of the world. However, I will not eat anything that has titanium dioxide in it.
Well, after today's episode, I can certainly see why.
Yes. Yeah. So let me give you guys a couple of natural remedies we can kind of take away from all of this. So one thing that we have been seeing people doing is avoiding plastic cutting boards, which is actually so great because when you're cutting up your food, you're sweeping it in to your salad or your soup or whatever the case may be. You're getting little bits and pieces of plastic. Don't use it. Use a marble cutting board, and you can actually go to your local hardware shop, get a sample of a marble, and just use that. You'll pay like $10 for it.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good trick.
Yeah.
You just need to put some rubber stoppers under it so you don't slip and fall when you're cutting your produce.
Exactly. Or you can use a wood cutting board. So personally, for me, I have a granite cutting board and a wood cutting board. The granite is for meat and the wood is for vegetables. I would rather have pieces of wood than pieces of plastic in
at
my
least
food.
wood is natural.
No, exactly. So remember that you are what you consume, whether it be physically or internally. It's important to know what you are eating, what you are using, and what you are putting into contact with your body. America has become a corporate feeding ground. They pay out the USDA, the FDA, the CDC, trusted government entities just to poison us and to profit off of us. Your food should not make you tired. Your food should not be making your stomach hurt. Your food should not be making you break out or have bad cramps. Your food is your frontline medicine. It should be helping you, healing you, and fueling you. So for the women out there that are complaining about terrible periods, theorizing they may have PCOS and so on and so forth, and looking towards a medication that can help them, remember your frontline medication is your food. It is your diet. If you are struggling with mental health, I highly, highly encourage you to look at your diet and what you are consuming and what you are putting inside of your body, because these little changes will help you so much. So let's say, hey, I got some cramps. What do? I have a headache. What do I do? Well, first of all, your headache can be linked to low blood sugar.
Or dehydration.
Exactly. So first, drink some water.
Oh my gosh, my father used to say that. You sound just like him.
Really?
Go drink some water, Luke. You're dehydrated.
Yeah, drink some water. For me, I had a headache today. I drank water, didn't help. My next was coffee, because coffee allows your blood flow to increase. Your arteries expand a little bit, allows for quicker blood flow to the brain. That's what creates the alertness. And so when you have a headache, it's theorized that you have lower oxygen, lower blood flow to the brain, so on and so forth. So I'm gonna drink some coffee. Let's see if that helps. It didn't help. So my last line of defense was sugar. So I ended up drinking a Coca-Cola. And as crazy as it may sound, and a lot of women have reported on TikTok that when they start to feel a headache or a migraine, they drink a Coca-Cola.
I call that a withdrawal.
No, it's the sugar. The sugar will help bring you back, right? If your blood sugar is low, you're going to feel that fatigue, the headache, whatever, the lightheadedness. It might help you. So do these front line of defenses. Yeah, Coca-Cola is not the healthiest, but it's also not thinning out your blood.
That's true.
Exactly. But you have cramps? Cool. Drink green tea. Take a turmeric, some turmeric, whether it be in the pill form or you put it in your tea, that's fine.
May I ask about the turmeric?
Yeah.
Is it true that you have to take black pepper to activate it?
Yes, you do. Okay, so turmeric is super, super, super small, like literally so tiny. And when you go and consume it, your bloodstream is thinner than something about the bloodstream. But basically, the black pepper helps open up the vessel that allows the turmeric to penetrate, so it allows it to work. Otherwise, if you're just consuming turmeric, it's not going to work. Like, your body is not going to absorb it. However, the black pepper allows for the absorption of the turmeric.
Now, please don't take a spoonful of black pepper with your turmeric pills.
No, you actually don't need that much. Like, the ratio is very small. So you don't need a lot, but you do need it. And eat a banana. The banana really helps with cramps. This is like my go-to. It's banana, turmeric, and green tea. If I feel cramps, that's what I'm doing. And your cramps will go away for a minimum of 4 hours.
It sounds like you can make that into a smoothie.
Oh my God, that's a good idea.
Turmeric, banana, black pepper, and what else?
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, green tea, banana, and turmeric. Are you a smoker?
There are some things that I smoke, yes.
Okay, well, drink black tea.
Oh.
Because it cleans out your lungs.
Is that why we drink black tea every time we smoke a hookah?
Yes.
Oh, that's why I always feel okay.
Every time we smoke hookah, we drink black tea because, we know it's not good for us. However, when you drink black tea, it helps clean out your lungs, and there is research proving that, so you can go ahead and look that up. And if you're sick, take echinacea. I don't know how exactly.
Echinacea.
Oh, is that how you pronounce
Yes.
it? How do you pronounce it?
Echinacea. So I will give you a remedy.
Tell me. Go off.
All right. There was at one point where I was sick for about 2 weeks, and my boss is a very big, natural, kind of herbalistic guy. Mm-hmm. So he said, Luke, I got something that's going to make you feel better. It's going to taste like shit. So I said, okay, I'll try anything. I was that sick.
Yeah.
So he brings me over an 8-ounce paper cup, and it's got warm water, honey, echinacea oil, and 2 finely minced cloves of garlic.
Oh, wow.
When I tell you, I gulped this down in maybe 2 or 3 gulps, and it was the most disgusting thing in the world, but I didn't throw it up. I felt better within 2 hours.
Oh, I love that.
Echinacea oil, I stand by it.
Yes, exactly. So echinacea.
Echinacea.
Whatever. It boosts your immune function. It relieves pain, reduces inflammation, and has hormonal, antiviral, and antioxidant effects. So as a result, you don't need to take cold and flu medication because this is a natural, it's literally from a plant, it's from a flower, and you consume it. I highly recommend you check out the brand Plants, PLNT, and they have a plethora of natural cold pressed type of oils or medications that you can take, and they're all 100% natural. Some things that you can further research on yourself is parabens and fabrics. Those are 2 things that I know a lot of people are really into. The takeaway from this is avoid RBST and titanium dioxide if you are looking to reproduce, because both have been shown to cause infertility in either animals or humans. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you took something away from it. I hope you learned something so great from it. And remember, this is baby steps. You're not going to do this all at once. So take what you want and take what you will. And feel free to share this with your friends and come back to it whenever you want. And until the next episode, everyone.
Yes, everyone, please join us next time as Nen does a Super Bowl shuffle with former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Go Bears!
I wonder if he learned healthy eating while in jail.
Get the hell out of here. Bye.